Hey everybody, Chunk Fu Gaming here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video. For this video series, I wanted to try something a little different. Usually videos that I make are just montages of kills, which is fine and all, but I thought let's share a little bit more information about how to play this build. I get a lot of questions asking me about Deathgiver play, tips and tricks, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a little self-critiquing of my play, because Lord knows I have plenty of room for improvement. That said, I think the best way to get better is to evaluate all of the decisions that I'm making in-game. What went well, what went wrong, taking a look at how I can play my build better, learn more about my playstyle and how I can improve it. So with that said, I'll be doing a self-evaluation of a few engagements I was in recently to see what we can learn so I can share it with you. With that said, let's dive right in. Okay, so for this first engagement, I see I'm up against one player in an Infernal Cythe. The fact that this is a 1v1 is a pretty big relief, as no matter what build I'm up against, in a 1v1, I'm pretty confident I can win it. That said, Cythe can dish out some serious punishment, including damage over time bleeds, which is not good for my build. After using my Ghost Strike ability, or my E, normally I would stay invisible for 2 seconds after that E lands, but with dot bleeds on me, I'll be forced out of invisibility almost immediately, so I'll want to try and avoid those as best I can. After opening with a Chain Slash, I purposely wait a second or two to see if he pops his Hunter Hood, as I don't want to clap myself with my own E. I am not successful in baiting out the Hunter Hood, so I decide to space out in order to avoid his E, which hurts, and puts that dot on me. I think in retrospect, the right play here was to drop that E on him once I saw that he didn't use his Hunter Hood, so I can put more pressure on him. As I start stacking up again, he closes the distance, which is normally good for me, so I don't have to use my shoes. In this case, however, I decided to try to put the hurt on him by using my shoes and landing at least one E. The damage bonus you get from using Hellion Shoes is a really nice boost, and it's also a great way to bait out his Hunter Hood, since he knows the pain train's coming. So, my Hellion Shoe did bait out his Hunter Hood, which forces me to wait to drop that E on him. Unfortunately, I didn't cancel my shoes in time, and I drop right on top of him. Now, I'm in range of his E, which is bad for me because of those dot bleeds, and I know they're coming. I thought I was just outside of his range, but it turns out I wasn't, and welcome to Dotville. I pop my health potion a little early here, as I know those bleeds are going to hurt. I land another Chain Slash and follow up with an E, but unfortunately I mistimed it and didn't have any stacks, which means I'll need to wait longer for my E cooldown to come back. This is pretty much how to not play this build, and now I'm hoping it doesn't cost me. With those dots on me, I immediately come out of invisibility from my E like I mentioned earlier, which is no bueno. I try again to put some distance between us, waiting for his spinning blades. Now that he knows he has dot bleeds on me, he wisely pops his Merc Jacket to regain health. I counter that by popping my Assassin Jacket Ambush in order to buy some time for my cooldowns, and to try and stay out of his spinning blades if I can. Here I decide to close the gap, as his spinning blades are on cooldown, and I can try to put some white damage on him, as I use Life Leech as a passive on my Deathgivers, and I could get a little life back while putting some damage on him. The bad news for me is that his E is back up, and he drops it on me again. Luckily, I'm running a Thetford Cape for the extra damage, and it procs as I auto-attack him, and I managed to put a decent amount of damage on him here. I see he pops his health pot, and I use that as an opportunity to space out to rebuild my stacks, as my E cooldown is almost up, and it's time to get this fight over with. Needed to land a double E Stalker Hood combo. The combo works as expected, and I finish him off with an auto-attack. A lot of mistakes here, but I got away with it, as putting out this much burst damage can really cure some mills. This next engagement is a one-on-one with a bow player, and based on the fact that he was already Aing out before I even got there, it's pretty clear to me he wants nothing to do with this fight. I'm building my stacks as I close the distance on him, and I hit him with a quick Chain Slash and an E, taking him to just over 40% health on the first pass. He pops his helmet ability, Smoke Bomb, which allows him to do normal attacks from that Smoke Bomb hidden from me, but since he doesn't have explosive arrows up, it's not going to hurt a whole lot if he does. In any case, as soon as I come out of my E, I pop my ambush as well so I can wait him out. He reappears from the smoke bomb with a little bit more health than he went in with. Must have popped his health pot, but it doesn't matter. I've already got my Hellion shoes up, I've got my E up, my Stalker hood is up. It's time to finish this. A quick double E Stalker hood combo, and that fight's over. Quick and easy, just like I like them. This next fight is a little long, but it's pretty interesting. I come across what looks to be a nature healer and a frost mage, and I play pretty aggressive here by Hellion shoeing to them and seeing if I can put some damage on both of these guys, put the pressure on, seeing how they react. As I come out of my Hellion shoe, I hit a quick chain slash hitting both targets, and then a double E, getting the frost mage super low. The healer is also low. It's going to be interesting to see how they react from this. After putting that much damage on both of them, they pretty much did what I expected, retreating to the entrance of the dungeon. It's a smart move to go back to the entrance. You do not want to go deeper into mobs without having the ability to de-aggro using ambush or some sort of invis pot. I don't think either of them have those abilities, so it was a smart move for them. As I close the distance on the healer, I hit him with a quick chain slash, and the frost mage at that point decides to re-engage. The healer has all his defensives up, but the frost mage does not. That is my target. After a double E Stalker Hood combo, all I have to do is blow on him, and he'll just fall over. After finishing off the frost mage, I decided to space out a little bit. This fight's pretty much won. I just want to wait for my E cooldown to come back, and then I'll finish it up. Those mobs are chunking him pretty hard. It's only a matter of time until I catch up to him and finish him off. I'm not quite sure what he was doing here, but I was almost positive he was going to take that buff right next to him. He either panicked or just figured this fight's over. In any case, I wait out his defensive, finish him with an E. Here I come across two players. Looks like a nature healer and a bow. And it also looks like they're both AFK. Might be two easy kills. I start with the single E on the healer, and apparently the bow is not AFK and fires up his explosive arrows. I start restacking, and then hit both of them with a quick chain slash, getting the healer pretty low and taking a nice chunk out of the bow. At that point, I was sure that the healer was AFK, so I decided to switch to the bow and see if I can finish him off. The healer is definitely back, but it doesn't much matter. I second E that bow, and it's now 1v1. The healer tries to A out with me 15 feet from him. That's just not going to work. Hit him with another single E to see what happens, and it looks like he's trying to space out or trying to escape, not quite sure which. So I apply the Hellion shoe on him to finish him off with a double E. He ice blocks after the first one. I've just got to wait it out. Okay, so in this engagement, I see that I'm up against two potential targets, and as I'm stacking up and closing the distance, one of them immediately ambushes. So I know that that person doesn't have that defensive anymore, and I didn't even do anything to bait it out. I see the second person extending away from me, running dagger pair, so let's just see what happens. The Bloodletter comes out of stealth to attack, and then throws a poison on me, and then blows another run cooldown trying to come after me. So now I know he has no run and no ambush. Since I know he has no ambush, I can safely Hellion shoe and get that extra damage with an E on him because I know he can't ambush out of it. Both of these guys are now in a very defensive posture, with the Bloodletter being pretty low, ready to get executed. The dagger pair is a little hesitant, I'm not sure what to do at this point. I'm going to take advantage. I put a quick double E Stalker Hood combo on the Bloodletter, and now it's just 1v1. I made a mistake here by spacing out against that dagger pair. It was already pretty clear to me that he didn't want anything to do with this fight. Sticking closer to him and putting pressure on him might have changed his mind about defending himself, but he's now trying to A out, which means I know he doesn't want anything to do with this anymore. And I lose the opportunity to get him as he uses his shoes to run, and my build isn't really built for mobility, so I'm just going to have to let this one go. That's it for this video. Thank you for stopping by and checking it out. Leave a note in the comments section if you want to see more of these types of videos. Thanks again, and as always, go get some junks.